Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Well, if you look around the internet, if you look in a lot of business and productivity sites and magazines, what you'll find is a lot of people, they talk about work-life balance. A lot of companies, they tell you that work-life balance is important. And yes, it is. But I want to turn this around. I want to talk to you about life-work balance. I know I've just changed the words around. But to me, this changing words is important. The whole idea of life-work balance and work-life balance is it's about balancing out our work and our life so that we can have that balanced life, but also that productive life. And don't we all want that? We want to have fun at home and then get down and do the work. But quite often, that separation between life and work, it's quite hard to make, especially nowadays when we've got our mobile devices, when we've got our phones on us 24/7. It's easy for people to contact us. It's easy for us to think, I'm just going to do that little bit more work. It's easy to try and finish projects, even though you're doing that at the detriment to your life. And this means that, work, it's so easy for that to overtake our personal life, our personal time. And don't get me wrong, there are times when this is valid, but this should be limited, because if you're always working, you're never getting the chance to recharge and you end up damaging your productivity. It's a key thing that we need to do is every day we need to be thinking, is my work overtaking my life? Is it becoming a problem to me? And this is where I like to think about life-work balance. To me, the order of the words is very important. When we say work-life, the first word, that's what I always think has the priority. So we're saying work takes priority over life. I want to shift that. I think it should be the other way round. Life should be what we're there for, and work is how we live. Now, we've all heard that saying, don't live to work, but work to live. And I think it really summarises this with the idea of life work. If we're putting the priority on work, then we're reducing the amount of life we get. Yeah, obvious, isn't it? Because there is a balance. But if we put too much emphasis on life, then we're not working enough. And I don't know about you, but I need to work because I need the money. I need the challenge. I need to get out and about and meet other people. So this is where we have to balance the two against each other. And it's a very tricky thing to do, especially given all the demands there are on our time and on our energy. And let's be honest, we need to think about money, because a lot of the time, that's one of the things you're working for, is to get that money. I often hear people that would say, you don't need money, money's not important. I've got to be honest, I'm going to say one thing to you, that's rubbish. Money's important because that's what puts a roof over our head. That's what puts food in our stomach. Once we've got those two needs met, yes, the money, it drops off, but we need to be earning enough money so we can do that roof and that food. Work, yes, that provides that money. That's why we have to balance out the amount of work we do to make sure we've got enough coming in to cover what we want to do. That money, as well as providing the roof, as well as providing the food, that's what provides the resources to do the other things in your life. I like to collect fountain pens. They cost money. You want to go to the cinema, it costs money. So in that respect, yes, work is important, and that's why we have to focus on work. But work gives us a little bit more than that, doesn't it? As I said earlier, it gets you out. You get to meet other people. You get challenges. You've got things coming in that are new all the time, and they're making you think and explore different ways of doing things. That's what keeps your life interesting, isn't it? But if you're working all the time, well, you're not living. If we're limiting our interests to work, you're not living. And sometimes, and I had this early in my career, it seemed that no matter how hard I work, I was getting nowhere. I wasn't even getting a thank you for doing that. It's very demoralizing when you're doing all these hours work. I was doing sometimes up to 17 hours a day. I was having no life. I was getting nothing for it. I was working, and that was it. If I wasn't at work, I was in bed asleep. I had no balance, and that was destroying me because, well, there was nothing else but work. I needed to make a mindset shift. And this is where I came up with the idea of putting life work instead of work life. When I think about the life work balance, what I'm thinking is, what do I need to get out of work to enable me to live the life I want? Once I made that mindset change, I was able to use that together with other techniques, obviously, to start putting boundaries, to start putting limits around what I was doing, to start focusing on building my interests, spending time with my family, spending time with my friends. Do you know what happened? The more I was doing that, the more I was spending time with my life rather than work, the more results I was getting from my work. Bit counterintuitive, isn't it? You know, I'm working less, but I'm delivering more. But I was doing that because I was again engaged. I had something to work for. I had these limits, so I knew that at the end of the day, I was able to go home. I was able to spend time with my family, my friends, chill out and watch TV, go out and do something. But I knew what I was working for. And that made quite a big difference in, as I said, my results. Now, yes, I know I needed to work. I know what the benefits of work were giving me. I knew what I wanted to do in my personal time. And I knew what I needed to do to enable that. By doing these, I was able to motivate myself. You know, I do understand, and I want you to understand, you need to work so that you can have the things that you need to live. So what I learned from this, I knew that I needed to work so I could have the things that I needed to live. But I also knew that I needed to live so I had the physical and the mental energy to work. And once I got that through, once I started looking at that and planning my whole life, I was able to get my life and my work balanced and in control. So to summarise, life-work balance, very important. And yes, I know this is a short video. We've only just scratched the surface. You need to understand what is going on in your work and your life. You need to be able to balance them out. But you need to make sure you're flexible. At the end of the day, sometimes you need to do that little bit more work because there's a need in the business for it. We've got to be flexible. We've got to adjust for that. You need to adapt your life. You would need to adapt your mindset to think about this new balance, about having both life and work coming together and working in synergy rather than you either work or you live. You can't do both. By balancing out your life and your work, you've got the energy you need to perform the work, and that gives you the resources you need to live. By working on this balance, by getting there and continually evolving it, that's how you are able to deliver the results you deserve. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Has this video prompted you to think about your life-work balance? Are you going to start using that phrase instead of work-life? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Hit that thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.